Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. Here we go again, right? Another day with Big Daddy Jerome Powell. Later today, culminating ultimately in minutes. And, we're going to find out what color tie he's wearing. And most importantly, what that will do for the market, what that will do for our coins here later today. But I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max Tucker and Chef Jackus, who's rocking the Powell profile picture today. Welcome, guys. I hope we've had a great start to the week. This is kind of, I would say, a pivotal point of the week, right? Perfectly dead center right in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. The coins have been selling off really into FOMC, but meanwhile, you've had a lot of strength in equity markets. I think one of those two markets is probably not telling the truth, and we're going to find out which one that is later today. But of course, before we can do that, guys, before we can give you insights on what we think Powell might say today, obviously what that could do for financial markets, both in equity land and of course in crypto as well. I'm going to need you guys to smash that like button for us. It is FOMC day. Give us slam that like button today. Because I mean, we kind of joke about how these are like special occasions for us in markets. That kind of like, what would you guys describe FOMC dates as? Like if you were to compare it to like a sporting event. It's kind of like a Champions League match, right, Jackus? You get up for it on a Wednesday night, and at the end of the day, it's going to have a huge impact on the rest of the market. So we do await what Powell has to say. I think some people had some great commentary on this as well yesterday, that we're probably not going to see any of the big boys position until we get some more clarity within markets. Maybe the big boys feel like they already have it. I guess we'll see. But as we always say, the way that FOMC typically tends to play out is it's more a product of positioning than what he has to say, right? How are people positioning into the event? Which is why I kind of bring up this duality that we're seeing between crypto and that we've, for most of the week in equities that we've seen thus far, where, legacy markets bounced. The S&P, at the very least, NVIDIA ate up some of the dip. Could it keep sliding? Yes. But the S&P, ate up a huge chunk of the dip that came in on Monday. Volatility got crushed back to the ground. And then meanwhile, in crypto, you've had altcoins selling off. So you've had probably some bigger parties de-risking a bit into FOMC, but the opposite in equities. So I am very curious to see what happens coming out of today. We are seeing some conflicting signal from these two markets, but as we know, they will probably fall in line once Jerome Powell gets back on that podium. And of course, we see what color tie he is wearing. I'll let you guys make predictions for what color tie Jerome is wearing today. But I want to go ahead and open the floor, get the discussion going. We don't have to spend obviously too much time talking about FOMC, but I do think, just given where things are trading right now, a lot of assets in crypto trading into support, looking for some positive catalysts here to lift price. And equity markets, I think, kind of looking for that tailwind to potentially push them into all-time highs. So what are we thinking about the markets today, guys? What color tie do we think Jerome Powell is going to be wearing? And any other thoughts that we have, just generally speaking, on FOMC going into today?
Well, I'm happy that you asked. Well, all right, look at this. So, first of all, good morning. I hope you guys like the thumbnail today. I think it's pretty funny. Z's a wizard. Z whipped that one up. It's pretty funny. We got Gangster Powell on there. But look, we're going to need Powell to do something, man. I was talking to our community this morning. I said, like, the most ideal situation is Jerome Powell walks in from stage right wearing a purple tie. Donald Trump is peeking his head around the curtain. And you look down and you see Trump holding a shoebox full of white doves. And basically, he's going to open the shoebox, and there's going to be like 24 white doves that just like fly around Jerome Powell as he's walking up to the stage. And he gets up there and he goes, Canada? Canada is ending QT? Watch this. and he basically cuts rates to negative, like lower than they were during COVID. The Fed starts immediately buying Nvidia shares. Okay, they immediately just start buying blue chip, and they basically just print more money. Like that's more or less the scenario that we need today, guys. Is something like that, right? I would be willing to concede on the white dove aspect of it. I feel as though that could be a safety hazard to have that many birds in a small room with a bunch of people, but the rest of it needs to happen, right? The rest of it needs
ETH would still be sub 4K.
Yeah, Bitcoin would be at 250K and ETH would be at 3,800. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I also think we do need to see, like, the most important thing from today is, I mean, he's going to be a lawyer about it. He always is, but I think it's not really important that Canada stop doing QT, like it's Canada, but it's about what it potentially signals, because a lot of times you'll see some like smaller economies elsewhere leading what our policy is here domestically in the US, which really is the big one. So basically, I mean, we can look at some charts. We can pull up like, Fed balance sheet here in the US. We could also pull up Canada's balance sheet. You're not going to see Canada, the Canadian Fed, I don't even know what you call them, the Canadian Fed's balance sheet.
Can we just look at maple syrup futures?
Oh, only if the likes are bad. Only if the likes are bad.
I have found something very interesting, but the likes needs to compensate today.
All right, guys, it's FOMC day. You're going to want to hear from Chef today. Jackus, what are your requirements to
500.
share? 500? It's a lot. It's a lot, but I think it's possible.
It's FOMC day. We will, the people are still joining, as they always do during the first 20 minutes. I think we can do it.
Okay. All right, guys, 500 likes. You got this. Where's my chart here?
I just smashed the like button on 2 different accounts to help you guys out. So
Tommy, I love it.
He's showing you guys the cheat code.
All right, hang on one second here. And then, all right, I'm Tommying the screen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I didn't ask. I'm not asking. That's the spirit of the Tommy. It
The
doesn't work.
warning is like almost asking though. Tommy is ruthless. He just says boom and doesn't say a word.
And then he just has like his daunting object tree, like, sitting there, ready to show you another fractal that could ruin your life or make you generational wealth. You never know.
you never know what chart's about to catch a stray.
No, you don't. Dude, Tommy's object tree is a thing of nightmares and dreams. There's nothing in between. It's never like, yeah, I think we're gonna range more. It's like you're either about to gig and make it or like study COVID, brother. All right. So up top here, and I'm gonna put this in blue. We have here, this is the balance sheet of the Fed here in the US. So total assets, less eliminations from consolidate. This is the Fed's balance sheet. All right. I hate that explanation that they gave. We're going to put Canada's here in red. So when we say that we've been in QT, that means that the Fed's balance sheet has been shrinking, right? You want the Fed, in theory, you want the Fed buying assets, expanding their balance sheet. I mean, it's the best, right? So like here we can put up, we'll put up the NASDAQ down below. And I'll put it in between this one. So here's the NASDAQ. And typically when the Fed balance sheet is expanding, you get these, like just like walk-ups, right? And even when they're like, plateauing and they're not selling, right? Or shrinking their balance sheet, right? This can lead to some pretty awesome conditions, right? Is the expansion of the Fed balance sheet with then again the not shrinking of it. Okay. So then you get things like this. This is the NASDAQ down below. And you can see that you get these just incredible walk-ups, where on the opposing side of that, when the Fed's balance sheet is shrinking and we are in QT, quantitative tightening, our stock market's so manipulated, you don't really see it, but you can tell that like that it's not in that clean like uptrend anymore. It's a lot more of like, you know, choppy conditions where skilled traders are really going to have to shine, not the like true up only. So I will remind everybody of this. The walk up that we've been in for the NASDAQ down here has occurred during QT, which is pretty incredible, right? We have been in, and here I can actually, I'll just finish this while we're here. I'll just do this. So you can see this was because of COVID more or less, right? You can see how it reflects in asset prices, right? But we've actually been moving up even during QT. NASDAQ has been chatting even while the Fed's balance sheet has been shrinking, right? So ideally, following the bank, I don't even know, do we call them the Canadian Central Bank. Let me move this back up here. They announced this morning that they're going to begin expanding their balance sheet again. Now, inherently, that doesn't really matter that much for us and what we really need to see. But if you look at these two charts side by side, you can see that typically the US and Canada, two separate economies, we begin basically expanding and contracting the balance sheet at the same time, right? It's not perfect, but you can see like, you know, they both kind of stimulate at the same time. They both start, I guess, like tapering at the same time, right? So you're not going to see this moving up. I think they're going to start buying back assets in like March, but you're going to start to see it climb back up. So I think in regards to FOMC today, the real important thing that we need to lock in on is, was Canada announcing this morning that QT is done and they're going to begin expanding their balance sheet and purchasing assets here in Q1? Is that potentially a tip off to something that's about to happen here in the US as well, right? So you can see, you know, overlaying, I can hide the NASDAQ now. I mean, you can see that they're pretty similar charts, right? It's pretty similar. So you'll see that time and time again. Jackus has done a lot of really great analysis about like interest rate policy here. Like you could look at, you know, when one economy starts cutting, Canada, INT, you can see right down here, this is the effective federal funds rate. This is the US. Oh, wait, no, sorry. This is the US right here. And then Canada is in red. You can see that our economies kind of work side by side, right? So in the blue, again, you have the US's, the US Fed balance sheet. In the red right here, you've got the Canadian one. Their balance sheets expand and contract at the same time, and their interest rate policy, you know, down here, they move in tandem as well. So there's potentially some reasons to be bullish about the Canadian decision this morning to begin to expand their balance sheet. So that's what I'm really hoping for, is that Canada was kind of tipping us off to what is going to be coming very soon here in the US. Because if QT ends in the US, or it's even suggested that it's about to, right? I think that we're going to rip off of that news. I think the market's going to begin to wildly speculate on risk, assuming that QT is coming to an end. So anyways, I'll stop rambling there, but just wanted to kind of show you guys what's happening here. Not all at once, guys. Stop
That would
fighting for the
be
mic.
sorry.
Come
I
on.
was on mute. Yeah, no, we I mean, this reminds me of when Jackass, wasn't it like was it Czech that was front running interest rate hikes back in the day? Or was it Poland? Or remind me who you were talking about back then? You're on mute, by the way. But I remembered back in the day, somebody was front running and Jackass was all over it. And hopefully that can be the case with Canada here today. I was talking to Max before the show. I was saying we're much more tied to the ECB than we are Canada. So I'm not sure what they've done recently, but at any rate, it's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing if Canada is starting QE. So we just need to know whether Powell believes we have the bandwidth to do QE, right? And it is the first Fed meeting post inauguration. I'm sure he doesn't want to step on toes. I'm sure he, doesn't want to get off on the wrong foot with the new administration. So, and I think everyone here knows where Trump stands in all of this. So I'm optimistic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only way this really goes bad is if Powell comes out and says some overtly hawkish or has some overtly hawkish rhetoric, right? Which I don't think will be the case. There it is. There you go. Right there.
I think that second point you touched on, Tucker, is probably what I'm most interested to see today.
Mhm.
I'm not really expecting us to really deviate from expectations as far as the actions of the Fed, but I'm interested in whether or not Powell is going to say something to try and kind of distinguish the Fed as a separate entity from the president, from this current administration, because, there's been a lot of dubious speculation, right, over the last 1 to 2 weeks about Trump's involvement, with the Federal Reserve and interest rates going forward. So what does that look like? I think would be my question. Does he push back? And I'm sure if he did push back for one, that probably would not go over very well over like a multi-week, multi-month period. But yeah, I guess we'll see what he has to say today.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. When is the somebody just asked about the full moon. Tommy, do we have any astrology alpha we can
I think we have a new moon today, actually.
And that's
it's a new moon in Aquarius.
It's a bad one, isn't it?
Aquarius.
I don't know, man. Like, dude, Trump is like, here's the thing. If we don't get a super dovish Powell today, dude, Trump's going to wage war on this man.
Yes.
Like, Trump is going to literally put him in a full Nelson and force him to say uncle and force his hand. Like, the Fed is no longer an independent branch that operates separate from the rest of our government, man. Like, they're supposed to be,
but they're not.
They're not anymore. Trump is going to get what he wants. And do you think that the man that they call DJT is about to let any extended drawdown and risk happen during the entire term of his presidency? Not going to happen.
Well, I think the key word there, Max, is extended, right? Because what the drawdown, at least people close to us are looking for, is not extended. It's quick. It's violent.
I don't want to talk about that, bro.
Tommy.
I don't want to talk about Tommy's object tree.
I don't either. But it's not. That's what I'm saying. Even if there were some drawdown, I don't think it would be like a 6-month thing. I think it'd be quick and painful, and then soon enough painless. But either way, I agree. I don't think Trump is going to let anything anything happen. We just can't have Powell come out and be a giga hawk today. That's really it.
I need an AI image of Powell in a full Nelson.
I got you, Tommy. I'll do that.
By the way, I'm back, guys. Big Duck. Yeah, I heard you. I just couldn't respond. It was Czech indeed. We started to raise raised the interest rates first, and then we started to cut first as well. And apparently, we will be the first central bank to start buying Bitcoin too.
Mm.
So that's interesting. I was like, the thing is, right? They discussed this, and there was a news floating around that about like a month ago or something. I'm not sure entirely. And like our governor of the central bank is pretty positive towards Bitcoin, but obviously it's not just him; it's the entire board, just like in the US. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm open to it, but it's something we are not planning to do in the next 3 years." That was what they said about a month ago, and now that has shifted, and they'll have the voting. As far as I know, the voting will take place tomorrow, and if the whole board votes for it, which is still if, then 5% of their balance sheet will go to BTC, which is about $7 billion,
Wow.
which would be about 71,000 Bitcoin at the current price.
This is the Fed?
No, that's Czech central
Okay.
central bank. Yeah, which would be so like we were the first. Our central bank was the first to raise the rates during this rate hike cycle. Then it was the first one to start cutting, and now it could be the first to adopt Bitcoin on its balance sheet, which is also pretty interesting considering it's a EU country, because ECB, which is European Central Bank, is heavily, we know that they are socialists, too much about against Bitcoin. They still call it a thing for money laundering. They are still like stuck in 2014 or something. So this would be like a fight. I actually think this will go in a way where lots of European countries are starting to realize that European Union is cooked, and they are starting to like disobey and basically do their own thing. Because I think there's going to be a fallout in European Union in the near future, but that's another topic.
That is a really like interesting plot or like subplot, not just to markets, but just geopolitics. Like what you just said, Jack, is that there's a very real possibility in the next few years that, if not like, I wouldn't call it a certainty, but I'd definitely call it more than a probability at this point, or a possibility that the EU is going to be, kind of disbanding. And I have no idea what Europe looks like after that.
Well, there is lots of countries like Hungary, but even Poland who disobey the EU now to a big degree. So and obviously there is that problem with euro, which is that like basically the northern countries are working for the southern countries. It's more complicated, but I do not want to jump too much into that in today's discussion. Just that I think that some countries are starting to see it and preparing ahead, I would say. And I'm just not seeing how it can continue in its current form. So, and I'm not seeing, the thing is, right, I'm not seeing like capable leaders. Like I'm not seeing someone like Trump coming in and changing the course 180 degrees in the European Union. So I rather think that they will keep pushing the propaganda they still do, and it's going to be a fallout, is my estimate, what's going to happen. And obviously, this is not a thing to happen over a year. I think it's going to be way more gradual.
Right.
By the way, the most tear up thing hasn't, like, US has OpenAI, Meta AI, Grok. China now has DeepSeek, and Baba is apparently to have some AI too. Well, EU has no AI, but it brags that it's the first region to produce AI regulation. That's just the most EU thing ever. Like, we have nothing, but we're gonna regulate everything. Man.
That is pretty on brand.
It's sort of like, in your terms, as far as I know, it would be like if California was dictating the policy for everyone, right? But then you have countries like, I don't know, Florida, Texas, and so forth, who just play a different way.
You guys love your regulations, huh?
No, we hate them, but it's the bureaucrats at the top who love them. The socialists
They lead
love.
you. They're your leaders, so you have to love it too. That's how it goes.
They are they are, by the way, the unelected leaders. It's not like in US. The political system here is different.
Yeah. Well, look, ETH is at kind of a fork in the road. I think we get some decision after FOMC within the coming days.
Decision time soon.
Still in a
Volatility
range.
incoming, brother.
Still in a range. Oh my god. I mean, I do like the binary nature of this pivot point for ETH, though, right? The way it's kind of panned out. You get a pretty clear framework to work with. If we're going to be breaking higher, if we're going to be breaking down. And it's kind of already, I think, given you the playbook within this range on exactly how it itself is going to trade, right? Like if you're going to get a huge upward candle, we know what that looks like. And if it's going to, kind of dribble and break down, it's already done that as well back in July and August. So no, I'm just kind of like leaning on ETH a little bit for market directionality. I think the rest of the altcoin market reflects kind of that, like those two different paths that the market could go on, and it is up to some extent, like what is going to happen out of FOMC. Is he going to say anything relevant? And if he's not saying anything relevant, what does positioning look like into the event? And could that cause price to either appreciate or dump? I know that's kind of like a nothing burger for me to say, but I do think that sometimes it's okay not to know what's going to happen next, but we do know exactly the level that ETH is sitting at and its respective importance for both sides.
Yeah, we need to pray that it's May price action and not June PA. Because is perfect. The two ways that this little falling wedge deal could go, right? One in May, one in end of June. So decision time soon. Indeed.
Let's look at what alts are doing today, because I did notice some strength in certain markets.
The rune markets, brother.
Not in the rune markets, but in the in the whiff markets, the markets of being on the spear. How funny is it that the dog ended up on the spear below $1?
Oof.
Oh my god.
That looks like a solid liquidation bounce.
I kind of agree with Jack. This is probably going to keep dropping.
Oh my.
Still in a range.
Still
Yeah.
range low.
Would you buy this chart?
No.
I think
so you're telling me you do not like to support greedy influencers?
Some prefer to get dumped on, Jackus.
I saw a post from that like Look On Chain account or whatever that some whiff whale started like a $15 million twop out of whiff as soon as the announcement came out.
Yeah, man, it's a cabal coin at the end of the day. I mean, it had a great run, but
well, run it. If you think about it, it really had no run. It really just had like one scam pump, and that was it.
It was a great trade.
Like the bull market really lasted on this coin, if you think about it, for like a month, and that's it.
Came at a good time, though. I will give them credit. That was bad though. This was bad.
The thing is that it is at how many billions market cap with is that still?
I think it's at
1.2.
just over 1.
Just over 1. That's not that much actually. Would I think it's way more.
I still think the unit cost on this coin is ultimately going to prevent it from pumping as hard as some people probably foresaw. It's just, I will say, it is kind of funny though, the sentiment on WIF, and this is where I will call myself out a little bit. I remember when WIF was trading above. I mean, even before it like double topped, there was the sentiment that it was going to be one of the cycle's leading memes. $20 is FUD, maybe even $50. Sentiment was through the roof. Basically, all of CT was in a coin, and now I think you're seeing obviously the opposite side of that coin right now. Nobody wants to hold WIF, and everybody is memeing it. So, not that I'm a buyer, but I do see the sentimental like flip flop that has occurred over the last like 6 months on this coin, and I don't know if it's going to come back or not, but. I'm not going to be fudding WIF at this point. I think the FUD trade is probably over. It could keep bleeding, but I'll FUD other coins.
Max, will you chart Ondo for this guy?
Ondo.
Yeah.
Is this a condo guy?
Mm-hmm.
Has he acquired a condo with his Ondo?
Maybe chart
He's
looks
a seed
decent.
investor, yeah.
WIF is at 1.2 billion, which isn't that bad. I thought it's way more. It used to be way more, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't look terrible.
BlackRock coin.
I mean, I like whatever's trying to happen right here. It's not bad. I'd say you probably...
Oh man, the 1618 again, dude.
On Ondo or WIF?
Yeah, on Ondo. Oh my god. Because I remember we literally top ticked the first top.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then the first one did the same thing.
dude, I'm gonna
From
stop
like-
fading the 1618, bro. I
know.
Yeah.
The amount of times
It's
where
ridiculous.
I'm like 1618. Don't worry, bull market, we'll flip it. It just works perfectly.
Every single time. And then what did it pull back to? 1.1. It pulled back
Is
to
it-
like.
Is it log fib?
No,
or
this
is
is
it-
linear. Log is
Wait.
up here.
Wait. You wanna tell me you're not using the log fib in a
Dude,
bull market?
if I speak, I'm in trouble.
What are we're getting some suggestions for some other meme coins within the comments. Not like the ridiculous ones. They want us to look at things like Brett, Popcat, Mog.
We can do that. Those are
Let's start
major ones.
Popcat.
It's refreshing to be getting requests for large cap meme coins again instead of just like my bags
5 million. My
Oh
big
my gosh. It did not hold mega demand.
I put out a tweet yesterday about this. Was kind of referring to PopCap, but it was just like the most savage part of this cycle so far has been the two like very different outcomes that people are getting for simply believing in something, and this is like the worst example of what happened to believers of a token, a literal Christmas tree on PopCat. But from a positioning standpoint, I kind of think I figured this one out, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this back in like September or October. There was a ton of longs that came in. And even when price was going down, open interest was going up. So it didn't really make any sense. What I think happened with PopCat was
Binance listing.
Most don't know this. CZ had a massive bag of PopCat. CZ had a massive bag of PopCat, and I think as soon as he got out of jail or prison, whichever one it was, I think they were using perps to support price while he dumped his PopCat spot bags. That's my theory.
Yeah,
So
we know how crime works.
This will probably be a buy whenever it ends up basing out, just because if open interest was climbing on the way down, like, yes, I'm sure there's going to be a point where longs are just going to puke really hard, but it also means it could be one of those things like Dino coins in Q4, where exchanges kind of had those passive shorts sitting on those coins for a long period of time. And the closing of those shorts is ultimately what gave you like the massive candle to the upside. For some of those coins, it was like 600 or 700%. So I can only imagine what it would be for a meme coin.
I don't even know how to chart this, dude. It's just like clearly someone's trying to get out. Maybe it's CZ, but I mean, this
Get
is
me out at any price type of price action.
yeah. I don't even know what this. I mean, I feel like at this point, is this thing on Sol?
Yeah.
Popcat?
Yeah.
I thought it's on base. Oh,
Popcat.
Popcat. That's
on
Keycat.
base.
Yeah. Sorry.
Different
My
guy.
bag.
I mean, bro, look at it against Sol. Like, oh, no attempt at holding any structure, you know?
Because what's happening on Sol is that everyone's dumping all of these and just aping Fartcoin, if I remember.
Aping these tiny coins that pop up, market cap wise, these tiny market cap coins that pop up every week. And so I think you've had probably the capital for aggressive expansion of price present, for some of these larger cap memes, but all of that capital has just gone into it's kind of ironic what ended up happening. Like, everybody was chasing ROI, and that ultimately ended up infecting the top memes as well, because everybody who was chasing meme coins within that sector ended up chasing ROI. And that ended up taking capital away from things like, obviously some of the meme coin super cycle leaders.
I mean, I guess structurally, you kind of need to see Fartcoin hold like around here. Because I feel like then if you lose this low right here.
PopCat all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're going to come down here, do this, and then this is supply. And then, I don't know. I would definitely like to see it hold this region. And then on top of that, you have this whole consolidation right here that, you really would like to see hold. Yeah, big level. It's just such a weird these soul charts, like the PopCat chart, and like this is so predatory, man. I don't even know what pattern you call this. It's like it's just like
that looks a lot like the MOG chart.
Yeah, it does. Oh my gosh, Tommy, you're right.
No wonder it's predatory when the whole space is PvP, man.
I don't love this trendline break on MOG. I'll be honest. Look at the 2.618 tag.
Oh man.
That went from looking potentially really, really good to looking pretty dire in like a week. But that's kind of how MOG trades. So I don't want to overreact to like a week's worth of candles. This is like the worst coin ever to try and trade.
I mean, the thing about it is like it's ETH beta at the end of the day.
Max, take it off log, bro.
But look how clean that the fibs are, bro. Look at that.
I know, but just humor me. It looks so much worse.
Oh, no.
Dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it just needs ETH to go up, right? Like if ETH goes up, it's fine.
Yeah, it'll probably just do what it did in August and September, if that's the case.
Good trend
All
line.
I heard
right
was nothing to see here. Everything is fine.
Everything is not fine, but it could be. Like if ETH starts moving, it will move because it just it trades a little schizo, a lot of bit schizo. But you should be able to see pretty clearly like when it starts pumping, right?
I see it. Guys, just slightly changing the subject back to FOMC, since it's today. We had a repricing of the rate cuts again, and it used to be 4 in like October, November for this year, the projections, the probabilities. And then we remember how hawkish Powell was on December meeting. And so it all got repriced. DXY and yield started to go up. Everyone crazy over the Christmas, right? Couldn't even enjoy the Christmas time. It got repriced, and the probabilities changed to 1 or no rate cut for this year. And now that we head into the FOMC, it's back down to 3 rate cuts for this year. So I view that as positive, especially ahead of FOMC. Obviously, there should be no rate cut today. But this was 1 rate cut still just like 2 weeks ago. Then 2 rate cuts just like a week ago. And today, it's 3 rate cuts again. And I view that as very positive.
Markets love to overreact, Jackus.
Markets like to overreact. That's true.
December, when they were only pricing in like 1 rate cut this year for the entirety of the year, right?
1 to no rate cut for this entire year. It was very even. It was like 50-50 at certain point with no rate cut for this year.
That's insane. And I do think that, I've been kind of talking about this, but like TLT has been I know it's not the exact same thing as like yields and rates and all that funny business, but TLT continues to be kind of my signal for, more or less when I think you're going to start to see rate cuts come in meaningfully again. We're really close. Like, I think this quarter, we're probably going to start to, if we don't see rate cuts this quarter, we'll definitely get them in Q2, would be my opinion. And we probably get a bunch of them pretty quickly.
It looks like as of right now, the most likely path is no cuts until June, which I don't think is a bad thing. Like, I really don't mind the pause. But yeah.
I think what the market needs today is really, it's less about the cuts and more about like the QT discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if they end QT, we're gonna rip. That's all there is to it.
And if they are smart about it, they can just talk about it. Like I would keep the firepower, but I would start with, we are currently in discussion of ending QT. Then on the next meeting, I think we have a good estimate, could be later this year. Then on the next meeting, I think it could be that, and then do it like later on. This way you can keep the markets, in a good spirit while still not do it. Although obviously the market is forward looking, so it would start to price that in.
Look at this picture. Hang on. Guys, let's run the likes up. 500 likes for Jackus. We can get there.
Which site from which site you took that picture from?
Z sent it to me.
No, I
Oh, you sent it to me?
Yeah, no, I use Grok.
It's so funny. Man, I really hope that this level holds on Trump's coin.
Tommy is unironically on the buttons.
Can we look at Russell?
Yeah.
I like that. I think the moment Russell breaks all-time highs, it is time. And I unironically thinks it happens at the same time with ETH.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Russell's just been a meat grinder, man. It's I mean, the hope is that we're somewhere around here, getting ready for a big move.
Is it true that ETH doesn't have a fixed max supply? Haven't you heard about ultrasound money?
Yeah, because I literally just went to the ultrasound money website, actually.
Yeah.
I saw that.
What do we think about this? Jackus?
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
You wouldn't get it, bro. You wouldn't get it.
So blue is bearish, I suppose, since it's above the price, and then white is bullish.
Yeah, but it hasn't been perfect, honestly. Okay, wait. Go back farther.
Can you do me a little favor on this chart and go into the settings of the indicator? Okay, and try and then put new moon and put it below bar, and then above bar on the full moon.
I mean, the blue one back in May makes me think we're more so in May than we would be in July. Right, because we had because those are the two spots we could be at, right? We're either in May on ETH or we're in the end of June. So
look at the beautiful July and August.
Yeah.
Except it's vice versa. Oh boy, I'm getting heated. Oh boy, you better delete this. Oh boy, I cannot take this anymore.
No, but pull the fractal from May, Max.
Bottom.
We went up after the last two.
Bottom. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it works. Guys, we need how many? We need 88 likes, and then Jackus is gonna be on the buttons.
See, guys, you guys said it's not possible to do 500 likes, right? Because at the time we had 490 people watching, and I said 500 likes. But now we are at 700 people, plus people have multiple accounts. So you need to be seeing things unfolding in the future. And I know it's possible.
I should probably like it, shouldn't I?
And people are demanding.
Oh, I liked it pre-stream. So
Moral of the story: impossible is possible.
what'd you say, Jack? Is 500?
500.
We're at 450 about.
But here's the thing, Tuckers. We have 700 people watching on YouTube.
Oh man.
There's plenty of people sitting out there that haven't liked it yet. And if you guys want the cook session of cook sessions, all you have to do is hit the like button. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Easy.
Jackus
So
has
the
some
thing-
really great stuff ready for you guys. I saw it this morning. You're going to want to see it. So all you got to do is hit the like button. We can get this show on the road. You can have me looking at Pepe with moon cycles, or you can have Jackus cooking. And all you have to do is hit the like button. It's
The
so
choice
easy.
is yours.
Did you just say that moon cycles is the same thing as soybeans or something?
Yeah, I may have alluded to it. Ooh, that's
No.
hang on.
We like moon cycles.
Oh, the moon cycle soybean chart. Few understand this.
Few.
The world's not ready for this alpha yet, man. Look at look at the moon cycles on the soybeans, bro.
Well, ironically, I think the moon cycles definitely do matter for the soybeans, since the moon, the rock, makes big part of our weather. And if there is a good weather, it's good for the beans, I suppose.
Yeah. It matters. It worked.
That guy Fury. Okay, Jackis, your tactics worked. I like it.
All right. We must be close to the amount of likes needed. We must be close. 489, guys. There's 11 of you out there that haven't liked it yet. That's all you have to do. Just 11 more people. And then Jackus is going to cook. And we still have 30 minutes left of the show. The next 30 minutes could be the best 30 minutes of your lives. And we need 11 of you to step up. That's it. Only 11. Okay, now we need 4. Only 4 more people. Okay,
4.
511. There we go. Jackus, you're on the buttons. Let's ride.
I love how they freaking aped it through that resistance.
They aped it. They shoved. They levered up.
A liquid move. Pump it up. So
SFP incoming. Bearish.
SFP incoming. So the thing is with the likes, right, is that sometimes I just randomly pull up the chart and cook, and sometimes we need to help the algo. We did not choose this. It is what it is. But now that it's been met for at least one day on the FOMC day, let's share the screen. I could talk about the things I discussed in, earlier today, but I have found something new, which is very interesting. So I might go with that actually. And it's regarding NVIDIA and even BTC together. I think that's very interesting timing-wise. So lots of people are like, what if NVIDIA keeps on selling, and or like, how is it exactly going to look like? How does it affect, my magic internet coins? I like the fact, let's look at NVIDIA and let's look at BTC next to it. Let's put it in the log mode. And so we can see pretty much that the bottoms and tops are very much correlated to a big degree. But the thing is, these are the very big tops and very big bottoms. They do not come exactly like on the same day, like we had unexpected FTX, that can happen. But more or less, I think people can see the correlation. But you do not just because you had a local top here and you were thinking, all right, this is the big top. Now that doesn't mean, all right, we will get to that. We will get to that. So I do believe that after the 2017 cycle, BTC became very much correlated to macro assets. And it's really like this bull market that flipped it for the big guys. We see that the first run-up for NVIDIA in that last cycle took about 1,064 days, which is obviously, as you can see, pretty much the same for BTC. But obviously, they ran at different times because we do see that NVIDIA broke out the all-time highs already in February 2020. That was way before BTC has done so. It took BTC how much longer? Nearly another year before BTC was able to do it. But then it ran like crazy at the last stages. And so what we see is that, and obviously, we had the scary shakeout in COVID, the black swan. And then we saw, obviously, after COVID, NVIDIA was the first one to really recover. It started to run. But it wasn't really until NVIDIA began ranging, which is during this period. And obviously, when it had the first stop, as you can see here, guess what BTC did? It did a scary shakeout. Scary shakeout into support. And lots of matrix agents on Twitter were telling me that it's over for BTC and we are back to bear market here after getting bullish, after being bearish this whole time. And it was really right here when NVIDIA entered a ranging period when BTC really began to appreciate. Now, obviously, this time is slightly different. BTC is already above its prior cycle all-time highs. Obviously, though, we could say that we didn't really get above it fully until we had this big breakout in November rather than March when we just swept it. That's not really as important. But the thing is that I think what's happening right now is that NVIDIA is sort of entering this range right now. And I do not think NVIDIA is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's rather going to stay here as a company. I think it's going to do well, but obviously, some companies might steal part of its market share and so forth. So it may range for some time. I think during that time period, I think we can potentially see BTC to run. Maybe the run has already started, from here. So maybe that's the case. I think maybe the range starts to go more like here, because we also had a scary shakeout, black swan capitulation this cycle that happened in August across markets. It wasn't like COVID, but it was pretty significant. The yen carry trade, we know what it has done to lots of assets when they went, minus 50%. BTC went minus 40, which is pretty decent considering its size nowadays. So we had that. And I think right now we are entering that period in which crypto starts to outperform NVIDIA while NVIDIA ranges. So people asking me like, isn't it bearish if NVIDIA is stopped? And I think it could be, but just like locally where it enters that range. And maybe then it continues to go higher at some point, and only then it's going to do that real cycle top, like before all assets start to go in a bear market again. So something like this. Maybe that happens in 2026. Who knows exactly when? But I do not think this is generally like the big top for NVIDIA. Local one, surely, but I rather think we are entering a range here, right? And now if we look at the timings too, so again, the time from this bot, and not that it's going to be absolutely the same, of course, but from the bottom to the top took 1064 days. If we look at the current count, we are just 840 days shy. And if we were to extrapolate it to the same time frame, that takes us approximately to September at least. I think that this cycle is different, and not all cycles are literally the same. It's not going to last the same time and so forth. But I think as long as we do not see really some crazy black swan in the world, something like, I don't know, World War III or something like crazy, yields rocketing to insane highs, I rather think the bull market is pretty intact, but NVIDIA after this run up will enter a period of reaccumulation, and I think that's going to be the time to shine for ETH. And I think this chart shows it very, very well. We can try to add ETH to the same equation, and we can also see pretty much a similar thing. So I think that the real outperformance during this range is yet to come. So NVIDIA finally chilling and ranging, in my opinion, is a very good thing. And this is sort of what I would expect.
Yeah, I think all you really need out of NVIDIA is distribution / bull chop for us to get going here.
Yeah. Like I was saying that, I'm not sure what you heard, but I was saying that the only thing that would really send like NVIDIA to bear market would have to be a world bear market, like something we saw in 2022 when literally every asset in the world went to a bear market. That's like the only way.
Mm-hmm.
But unless that comes, which I'm not seeing as of right now, and for that to come, we would have to see yields to really start sending way, way higher. We would have to see some, new war. I'm just not seeing it right now with this new administration being very bullish for AI, for the economy, for crypto. It's just not what I'm seeing right now. Not sure what would cause that. So I think this was the shakeout. Quite obviously, the capitulation. And we are now entering the ranging period. This confirms my bias, therefore it is accurate.
Yeah, I like that. And there's also a lot of evidence if you chart both Bitcoin paired against NVIDIA and then also ETH charted against NVIDIA, that the time hypothetically should be like now, more or less.
Yeah.
So,
What did you say that I should put together?
just like Bitcoin NVIDIA pair and then ETH NVIDIA pair. Bro, Solana GCR is such a hater, man. Every day he comes in here, he hates. I feel like he wants me to react. He wants me to ban him from the chat, but I don't think I'm going to, man. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna make him show up every single day, waffling, so that when we pump, he has nothing to say. I want him to see the comeback.
Do you know what these guys do when we pump? They disappear. Just like that.
Just a hater, bro. I don't understand why you, as a grown man, would come and hate on another grown man. Don't you have things to worry about in your own life? I don't understand. It's unrelatable.
It's like, oh, you guys are so wrong. We're gonna dump.
Do you
Doesn't show up
remember
until
Shine?
August.
Where did Shine go?
There were lots of like these. Lots of them. One final leg up and then it's bear market. One final leg up and then it's bear market. One final leg up, it's bear market. Yeah, this is the chart, by the way. So we basically are at the accumulation phase, and this accumulation is taking longer than any in the history, but it's still an accumulation. And I think that this part is yet to come for crypto. Well, Nvidia does nothing. I think this is the big rotation lots of stock guys can do.
Yeah, that's coming, bro. Some funny comments, bro. Oh, too funny, bro.
What's going on?
We do need Will back on here, man.
Few, bro. Few.
We need Will back on here, bro.
Yeah. We need to let the pit bull out, man. We need Will.
Yeah.
We do need Will, and people keep asking for him. They need to be attacked. They need to be attacked.
Keeps everybody grounded, you know. Keeps everybody in line. So Jackus, the time for our crypto assets to begin outperforming mega cap tech is now. But
this is it. I'm telling you, this is it.
This is it. But there's some traders out there looking for like 2K ETH to 500 ETH.
Okay.
So you're wrong.
Wait. You mean these guys?
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna say who bought ETH. Either way.
But seriously, like there obviously like there are always chances that the cycle is different and it's over. And at that point, like it would have to be some systemic risk and everything would be going down at that point. If that were to come, then obviously, if ETH were to lose the current levels, and so where others, BNB and so forth, I could see some black swan, like real black swan to come in. But until that happens, right? Because we are not seeing that right now, and obviously black swan is unexpected. But until we see that, until we see those levels being closed, you just have to stick with what always works, and that's being bullish at support until it's lost. If it's lost, you need to quickly adapt. But while at it, like don't be the guy who is at higher time frame support screaming for lower. You can get lucky, sure, but you will be lucky. It's not a long-term strategy.
Also, I'm gonna Tommy it real quick and then give it back. Tucker, I just modified the moon phases indicator to reflect candle colors, brother.
Max. Shadowy supercoder.
I mean, someone has to do it, right?
Yeah.
If not me, then who? Back to you, Jackus. Is there a normie trend line on that NVIDIA, the total NVIDIA chart, Jackus, like from the previous all-time high? Is there a little diagonal trend line that we need to study?
Breakout, yeah.
What do you mean, like?
No. On the total Nvidia pair chart, the second one down, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
from the all-time high. Ooh, Jackass, what is that? What am I
Probably
looking
nothing.
at? Does TradingView line
Probably.
work or no?
Looks good. Looks real good, man. Imagine. It's not perfect, but decent enough.
Kind of nice.
I like it. I'll take it any day.
I don't know, man. We're getting into some big levels where I feel like the time is like, it's January 29th. I feel like if by like the second week of February we're not like a lot higher on a lot of these crypto assets, something has gone haywire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or we're gonna know really soon. I always say this because it's true. Crypto has a way of making you feel like it's completely over, and then within like you blink and we're so back, right?
I think if by end of February we are not above 4K, something's wrong.
I just
But-
want all these ETH haters to just eat their words, man.
Yeah.
It's too much, man. It's becoming way too much. Okay, let me give you an example. So yesterday I made a tweet about like how ETH needs to hold here. It wasn't even bearish. I even said in the tweet, I'm not selling anything, like nothing. But I was like, we need to hold here. And it was like my best performing tweet of like the past 6 months, without question.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wasn't even bearish. I just like suggested that like ETH was at a critical point and needed to hold, otherwise it was going to nuke. And then everyone is like, ooh. So it's like, it's the new engagement hack is like to just FUD ETH, you know? And I didn't even do that, but I was like teetering that line between like being optimistic and pessimistic.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, man. Like it's a problem. The algo's incentivizing the wrong people. It's getting out of control. Sentiment is at an extreme low right now.
Sentiment is suicidal.
Suicidal.
Not even joking.
I haven't seen what it's doing today, but I noticed that Meta was ripping yesterday. Just another.
Do they have earnings today?
I don't know, but it gapped up yesterday. And it's just like, dude, our parents just continue to get richer and richer and richer, and we're just studying poverty every day.
They do have earnings today. After hours. Who else do we have? Do we have Tesla today?
If ETH doesn't pump soon, man, we're gonna be eating canned beans at the homeless shelter. Like, we need ETH to go, brother.
We got Tesla, we got Meta, we got Microsoft today. Who else? Apple's tomorrow.
So Meta is ripping, but people are bearish.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's correct. Yeah,
That is correct.
Doesn't seem to align.
you wouldn't get it.
I definitely don't get it.
You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand.
I mean, look, somebody, I'm just going to Tommy this really quick. I just want to point out, unfortunately, all right, they beat earnings here. We chopped down. They beat earnings here. We gapped up and then sold. They beat earnings here. Big gap down. So I don't know why, but when Meta beats here, they gapped up. That was nice. But the last few times Meta beat, they went down. So we also have Tesla earnings today. After hours, they beat, gap up, they missed, sell. All right, so this is more in line, but yeah, earnings are kind of a curveball. It could do whatever. Big gap down on that one. Gap down on that one. Microsoft. These are all beats too. So Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that, honestly.
Was saying yesterday that we likely sell off into today's FOMC as some hedges come in, and then obviously Papa will decide our future life. McDonald's or Lambo.
I don't know what to make of the VIX though. Crush it. Go ahead and crush it. Move. Nothing to really speak of. We really need this to drop like a rock though, guys. We do. Big time.
We do need to see that, and if it comes, oh boy, I'm getting excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need that.
Lower. Well, the current probabilities say that the rate should be at 3 point or like at 4% in October. So
In October, okay.
yeah.
So what, they just think it's gonna do this for all year? Oh, USDT. That's what they were looking for.
Sorry, two cuts planned for this year. Yeah.
We looked at this a while ago. It's pretty interesting. Right. This USDT going sideways right here is when others started sending.
How much longer can this support hold, man, on USDT dominant? That's the real cheat on the door.
Yeah.
That's your 4K ETH resistance.
I don't even think it needs to like nuke from here for us to go up, honestly.
No, it does need to. It will.
I think it needs to. I mean, look at last time though. Look at that. It went sideways and others went straight up. I mean, that was money printing though, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, can you put USDT market cap next to it? Because I think that USDT market cap was exploding during that time, which goes well with you can keep the ETH price or others next to it.
Keep others down there.
Yeah. Because USDT, and this is something that I keep saying too, right? This is new money entering the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have, that's the thing, right? So people will be like, USDT dominance has only so little to go down. And that's true. But if you have lots of new entrants and you have USDT market cap rising, well, USDT dominance can stay the same price and the market can pump.
Yeah, exactly. Because the market cap continues to go up, right? So USDT dominance at 4% here is not the same as it was back here, basically.
Yeah. So the fact that stablecoin market cap, and by the way, I'm still confused on this, but USDC market cap has started to go parabolic lately.
We had somebody, we had Amelia wanting Chinese 10-year minus money supply. Is that right? Emilio, is this correct?
Maybe it's vice versa.
Times? Oh, it's times. It's times.
Big times.
Whoa. Oh yeah, we looked at this one time before. All right, let me So let me leave others down there. Let's put this in log. So we want them to go up together, basically. Yeah.
So we need green Heikenashis.
Yes, we do.
Well, that's quite a sell-off we had so far.
Yeah, we want these to go up. We want this to go up. We want the Chinese 10-year times M2 basically to go up. Yeah.
Now that's the spirit, Michael. That's the spirit.
Oh, shit.
All right, guys, that takes us to the end of the show. Do me a favor before you guys go, please consider navigating down to the bottom description of the stream. It will navigate you to our website, becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can make the decision to level up your crypto journey. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what we can offer here at BB. So, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's these three options right here. Now, the first one here for $97 a month is the BB terminal. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building out a custom trading terminal for you guys. It's basically a Swiss Army knife all in one package that gives you everything you could ever need or want to succeed in these markets. It's got hundreds of custom indicators, things that are difficult to find elsewhere, and we basically compiled them into one ultra easy to use, friendly platform to help you navigate financial markets. Now, if you want to really level up, definitely consider checking out this gold package over here. Yes, it is very expensive, but you will see right away, without question, why we charge what we charge for it. Don't conflate it with other Discords that you've been in. We simply use Discord because it's friendly and familiar. All right. What you will get in this gold package is 4 hours per day of private live voice calls with the entire BB team. We do Q&A, chart requests. We have positions channels where we provide updates, 24/7 line of communication with all of us here at BB. And again, there's really nothing like it. And within that package, you get the BB terminal included for no additional costs. All right. So definitely consider checking that out, guys. Give it a try for a month, and you will see we put a lot of time and money and effort into this production. So if you want to be a part of it, we would love for you to join, guys. So definitely consider checking that out. Additionally, none of that's for you. You're like, you know what? I don't have time for any of that. That sounds great. But I really would like to level up and support the boys here, BB. Check out some of our Academy courses, guys. We have 2 for free. We have 1 that's paid. This one that I made for free is a lot of people really like my charts. So I put together a course on how to make your TradingView charts look more visually pleasing and how to kind of get started making beautiful charts. So check that out, totally free. But if you really want to level up, guys, check out the expensive one over here. It is basically a masterclass on everything that we do in financial markets. This was put together by the entire BB team, all of us together. A lot of really incredible, valuable content, all of our tips, tricks, secrets, things that we have used cumulatively as a team for a long time to successfully navigate financial markets. So definitely consider checking that out, guys. You will not regret it. Now, if neither of those are for you and you're like, you know what, the premium sounds great, terminal sounds great, Discord sounds great, the Academy sounds great, but I simply don't have time for any of it. But I do really like these guys and I know they're winners and I wish they could just manage my money for me. Well, guess what? We also have an SEC registered hedge fund called BB Wealth Management. You can check out the link in the description below to our X account, BB Wealth Management, and fill out a contact form. If you would like us to manage your money for you, we can actually do that. All right. We can legally do that for you now. So check that out below, guys. It'll accomplish a couple things. One, good diversification strategy. If you're managing your own money and you're like, it's going well, but hey, I'll diversify a little bit, let these guys take a crack at managing a certain percentage of it. That's a great strategy. Another one is, hey, I don't have the time to do it, but these guys certainly do. We would be honored to meet with you, tell you all about it, and hopefully manage some money for you. So guys, join us somewhere. Join us in one of these 3 packages here. Join us in the academy, or perhaps join us in BB Wealth Management. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. Everybody stay safe during FOMC, and let's hope for some QE. Take care, guys.